And we're back, fight fans, for another episode of Excuse the Savvy. And we got a special show for you tonight, because we have a first appearance of our correspondent, Ace Morales. How you doing tonight, baby?
Good. Glad to be here, guys. Thanks, Rafi, for being sick or whatever it is.
He had a flood. Rafi had a flood, but don't worry, Benny. Don't worry, Benny. We're giving you those picks. We're having that pick off. And I got Kyle Cabin over here. You all don't, you know.
Can't forget
him.
this face, right?
And I'm Ari Weiss, your main man. So let's get started here tonight. Excuse the Savvy. The lineup for the evening is going to be, we're going to talk about Fight for the Troops, a little recap. Fight for the Troops 2, actually. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to we'll talk about Brock JDS real quick. You know, then we're going to branch in the portion of the show, the big portion is going to be the Strikeforce Diaz Cyborg card that we attended, baby. Woo! And we're going to talk about all the things that your boy shook up on the scenes there. But anyway, you know, let's go to Fight Night for the Troops 2. Our boy Joey Beltran. You were 2 minutes away, baby. You had it.
So
you had it
close.
wrapped up. You were 2 minutes away from the win. Good showing, though. We love you. Any last send-outs for Joey, boys?
I mean, I was sad watching it, wondering how you guys are supporting him, knowing he was going to get, you know.
Come on, baby.
I mean, personally, that's just me.
All right. Well, you know, and I know this fool had Barry too. Sorry, Joey.
It was close. It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Good
For
fight.
sure.
Hope they keep you around.
Human punching bag spray.
So anyway, we love you, Joe. So, okay, let's talk about Melvin Guillard, because everybody had done him. Guillard had kind of like, didn't look so great. I thought he lost the fight against Jeremy Stephens. You got the bad decision. But he comes in and shocks like the world, destroys Dunham. I'm kind of back on the Melvin fever. I think he's going to make waves in the lightweight division. Kyle, how do you feel about
He's got
that
like
fight?
50 fights now. He's something crazy. I think it definitely puts him in top 10, which we have already on the site. But it doesn't, nothing beyond that. It was really good. Great performance, quick hands. We all know that he has quick hands. His ability to finish any fight that quick. We'll see what he does in the next fight.
I don't know about a top 10 status for Guillard. I'm not convinced by anybody that loses by a rear naked choke or any sort of submission 2 or 3 fights in a row, personally. But I mean, the guy's got talent. He's a natural athlete, and he's definitely going to cause some ruckus in the heavyweight division.
We'll talk about that later when we go flubbed a little bit with your boy Gilbert. So all right, you know the other thing too, the Fight for the Troops card, they raised $5 million for the troops. Pretty nice fellas. Pretty nice fellas. And they got over 2 million, rating, which is big for it wasn't even a great card on Spike. UFC's booming.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
So let's move on. It was a good card, but let's get to the serious cards. But before we do, let's talk about the Ultimate Fighter Tough 13. JDS was I mean, I thought it should have been, Carlin. That probably would have been a better matchup. But they give it to Brock. What do you feel about
this? It's going to be good ratings. Everybody's been talking about it. It's going to be great TV. It's going to be great excitement. Brock's going to put on a show again. We don't know if he's going to put on a show in the actual fight, though, if he takes the fight. I'm with the Roy Nelson. I still don't think he's going to take the fight. I think he's going to back out. He's going to get scared. He knows what Blackhouse can do.
Wait, what do you...
We'll see.
I'm
saying Brock Lesnar isn't going to take that fight.
Oh, come on.
He's going to get injured. He's going to get injured. He might get a cold. Baby. I bet he backs out of that fight.
I kind of have to agree with you. This is a win-win for UFC right now. I mean, Brock Lesnar obviously is their money-making machine. If you look at any pay-per-view draws, he's had the biggest numbers out of any of their superstars. Anyone on his cards are also in the top 10 as far as what they've been able to draw. So obviously he's going to be drawing in lots of fans. First time on Spike in a while. Again, obviously for him is going to be sort of a nice homage back to the days when he was throwing guys out of the ring. But yeah, I don't think it's. I mean,
JDS doesn't want it.
Yeah, Velasquez printed a clear blueprint on how to beat the guy. I mean, do we really want to see him versus?
It was a
JDS?
one-time thing. It was a one-time blip. Anyway, okay, we're excited for that show. That's going to be out soon. Let's move on. Let's talk about the meat and the potatoes of the show. Strikeforce Diaz Cyborg. The Savvy team was there, baby. Jealous. The reason I'm wearing this outfit, because I was a primetime reporter, front row at that press conference, baby. But before we get into that, let's talk about what happened. Diaz, big win. Cyborg actually looked good. His kicks were scary. He was actually outstriking him kind of with harder shots. Nick did go on that flurry, but I was really worried. I was like pacing by the cage, and then he pulls it out with a submission. Let's talk about your boy. How
Nick
do you feel
knew
about that?
he was going to have heavy hands. The guy strikes really hard. He was lacing into that leg. I think that was a great game plan. Nick boxes. He doesn't throw a lot of kicks. He walks around flat-footed with his boxing. Great game plan. Couldn't have the cardio that you need to beat Nick Diaz. Don't feel bad. Not many people do. The best part of the fight was Cyborg's wife sitting outside in the shot Strikeforce got of her that they put on Showtime of her reacting to the fight after the first round.
It's pretty sad.
Priceless.
Very decent.
Priceless. Way to go, Nick. You made Stockton proud. Thank you very much. The fight streak continues.
Absolutely.
Ace, how do you
that was
feel about that?
No, it was a great fight. I mean, I was concerned for Nick Diaz early in the fight with those leg kicks and his willingness to stand there and sort of take punishment from Cyborg. I mean, if you've seen the Cyborg versus Melvin Manuel fight, it's like, you don't want to sit there and bang with a guy who used to fight at 205 and, sit there and let guys punch him in the face consistently. So I was a little nervous that something was going to happen, but Nick Diaz never fails to surprise and pulled out the submission. I don't think that was much anybody's surprise, but the fashion in which he did it was pretty amazing.
Real nice. We like you here, Nick. So let's talk about the Jacare real quick. Lawler dropped him the first round. I was really nervous. I had Jacare, but I wanted Lawler, so I was kind of torn. Lawler, Jacare pulls it out. Whatever. How do you guys feel about this fight?
He's going to be hard to beat. He doesn't want to fight Miller again. He just beat Tim Kennedy. I don't know what Tim Kennedy's game plan is going to be coming into his second fight, which may or may not happen. Probably will because he's going to beat Miller. Who are they going to give him? They don't have anybody else to have him fight. He's going to have to move. He's going to have to jump up to 205, jump down, fight Nick Diaz. I bet you won't. They're going to have to do something. Maybe bring somebody in. I don't even know who they bring in right now, but he's going to be there for a long time. Maybe until Strikeforce folds.
Absolutely scary guy to fight right now. I mean, I was totally thinking, Robbie Lawler was doing at least a decent job on the ground. I mean, you have to give him credit. I was surprised how long he survived on the ground against this guy, and was able to get out from underneath a couple times and reverse some positions, which I thought was great, and a nice little credit to his camp. But I mean, we kind of knew where that was going with Jacare coming out with the win.
Anyway, so let's talk about what happened at the Strikeforce. Diaz Cyborg. We were there. We met Josh Koscheck, Gilbert Melendez. We saw all these people. Check them out on the video. Check them out on Savvy, baby. And then we go to the press conference, and yours truly grills Coker, Herschel Walker, Nick Diaz, Jacare with sick questions. Those will be posted this week, you bums. You better be tuning in. And we're gonna give a shout out. We had a big night. We're gonna give a shout out to Rich True, the matchmaker of Strikeforce. He hooked it up. Thank you, Rich. Then Danny Brenner, sick PR guy, and his boy Evan, they hooked us up. We love you. And then we even met Spencer Lazar and Aaron True. And Aaron, he gets a lot of hits. We're trying to get him on the show, Aaron. Maybe Spencer, too. You want to come down to Savvy, baby, and show your marbles over here? So come to the show, boys. Everybody's welcome. So let's finish the show before we end here and get to UFC 126, which is going to be live on Saturdays. Let's talk one final thing about this. What Coker said about the heavyweight tournament. He basically said the reason that the brackets are like that and why there's no belt on the line, no belt on the line because it's like a Grand Prix. They want a Grand Prix belt like in the Pride days, and because the reason why one bracket's weak and the other one's not so weak, it's because they want the fight. They want to see the fights that everybody wants to see. So they have to see the Verdum Alistar, and then they want to see Alistar Fedor. So they sort of plan it like that. And that's okay because Arlovsky's going to win that tournament.
But the only thing that doesn't make sense about that thinking, which I love that thinking because we get to see the fights that we want to see. The one thing that doesn't make sense is why don't I take Barnett off the other side of that bracket, put him against Fedor. We've wanted to see that fight for years. Instead of giving
because they want to save one. They want to save a final. They want to
have a legitimate final. Sure.
Last time that happened, a promotion went down.
Oh, yeah, that's true too. That's true too.
I mean, you have to be careful. Be careful.
All right, baby. So that was our Excuse the Savvy exclusive episode. See us Saturday night. Saturday, baby, because we're going to be out. It's UFC 126, Silva Belfort. The whole Savvy team's going to be out. Hit me up on Twitter, MMA Savvy Online. What's your Twitter, Ace?
Notorious, Notoriac.
Hit us up on Twitter because we'll be out giving out free shirts and mingling with the
swag.
babes.
Come get your swag.
We love you. Stay savvy, fight
get
fans.
swagged.